All right, welcome to Peaceful Warrior Yoga, and let's have some fun. Let's start on our backs. So we'll do a centering on the back, knees together, feet apart. I like to start with that regular TP shape with the knees. It gives us also a chance to feel our backs. And focus on relaxing particularly the shoulder blades into the mat. And for a while there, I want you to experiment with different arm positions. So you can have palms face down. You can have hands beside the hips at 45 degrees or out 90 or above the head. And I want you to feel each position communicating to your upper back. Try the same with palms face up, back of the hands resting on the ground. And immediately I pick up a sensation in my left shoulder, which has been injured for some time. So those simple changes in position can make a big difference to your practice. Let's simply move the head left and right a few times, nice and gently. Reminding the spine of its multiplicity of movements. In this case, the cervical spine. So it's like we're windshield wipering the nose from side to side. Nice and slowly. And then add a windshield wipering with the knees, with the feet wide apart. The nose windshield wipers one direction, and the knees windshield wiper in the opposite direction. So you're feeling lumbar and neck working independently, waking up the spine. The mid and upper back stays rested on the mat. Continuing on. And then finally let the knees rest to one side. And whichever side the knee is leaning towards, reach that same arm above the head. Stretching out through the rib cage. And then the other arm, so both arms above the head. The first reach through the ribs. And then switch sides, keeping the arms above the head. Come back to neutral, bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side, butterfly pose, and then simply pick the feet up, lift the head up and reach for the feet. You can grab the shins if you can't reach the feet. And I want you to push the feet into the hands so the low back remains grounded, but the upper back is stretched open. Can you push with a little more strength? Feet into hands, so you're feeling the grip strength here as well as the release in the shoulders. then slowly release. Drop the feet hip width distance apart. Lift the hips up into your traditional bridge. Push the weight into that right foot as you lift the left foot to the sky and rotate the foot. Hopefully you'll feel this in the hamstring as well. Rotate the foot in the opposite direction. And then lower and change feet. Push down with the left, ground out. Rotating right foot, feeling that right hamstring open up. Rotate the other way. Now keeping the hips lifted, lower the right foot, clasp the hands together, push down with the forearms, lift up a little higher, feel that maximal bridge there. Nice diaphragmatic breathing, waking up the spine, waking up the back here. Exhale, gently release one vertebra at a time. Lift the knees into the chest and rotate the knees in a circle. Rotate the other way. Now pause, grab hold of the back of the hamstrings just near the knee joint. Lift the head, curl up into a little fetal ball and start rocking forwards and backwards until you come all the way up. Hold the legs off the air, off the ground. Extend through the feet. Shoulders back and down, long spine. Palms face up if you like. And feel your Navasana, that boat pose, seated boat. For 3, 2, and 1. And then slowly come onto all fours, cat and cow. Notice how the back feels. Extend left leg, drop the ball of the foot, press out through the heel bone, and stretching out the calf. Float the left leg into the sky, drive out through the heel bone, foot, left foot, and left hip. Roll towards the ground. Extend right arm out, bird dog, and then come into your bird dog crunch. Exhale. Elbow to navel, knee to forehead, forehead to knee, and then extend out again, eyes looking down towards the top of the mat. Exhale, crunch. 2, 3 more in your own time. And on that third one, hold, option to get a nice stretch through the quadricep, bending left knee, capture the foot. Oh, pulling back on the foot, lifting the knee, lifting the heart, lifting the chin here, squeezing right shoulder blade towards the spine. Exhale, release child pose, let everything go. And really feel the release in the back with child pose. All fours, cat and cow. Use cat and cow not so much as an abdominal strengthener, but as a way to feel the sensations in the abdomen and the back as you move from flexion to extension. Extend right leg back, drive out through the heel. Ball of the foot on the mat, so you're stretching the calf initially before you raise that foot up. Toes and hip facing the mat. Extend left arm, opposite arm. Crunches 5 in your own time. You can do more than 5 if you have that kind of feeling of energy and speed. You can do less than 5 if you're going really slow and just feeling the impact. The sensations in the back and the abdominals. The next time you extend, pause. Option to stretch the quadricep on this side as you reach back for the foot, lifting knee, heart, chin, and corners of the mouth. And slowly release child pose, let everything go. Coming to all fours, thread the needle as you lift that right hand to the heavens. Thread the needle, come onto the right shoulder, resting the head on the mat, feeling the right upper back separate and stretch out away from the spine. And we'll continue threading the needle 5 to 10 times in your own time. Some of you will be going faster, some slower, some maybe even holding the threaded needle. And the next time you come into threaded needle, pause. Push all the weight onto the right side of the body so the left leg extends. Ball of the foot stays on the mat for now, so you're feeling nice and balanced. You've got lots of points of contact, even though you're in a balanced pose with the weight biased towards that right side. Let's do some leg lifts here, up and down. Just waking up the glute here. And the next time you lift, look for balance. Look for balance, play for balance, and see if you can reduce the reliance on that left hand, maybe lifting the left hand to the sky. Those who want another quadricep stretch here, you can reach back, grab your foot, and pull the foot back towards the buttocks. And gently release, come to child, and in child simply notice how the body bounces back, restores equilibrium, or not. My right hip's cramping up a bit here, so we'll see how that goes. And let's try that on the other side. All fours, threaded needle. My range of motion is definitely different on this side because of my shoulder. And when you're ready, come onto the threaded needle, pushing the weight to the left side of the body. And you can do your leg lifts up and down. And once again, look for your balance. You can lift the hand if you like. You can reach back and find your quadricep stretch from this side. In your own time, wherever you're at, come to child and let everything go. So I'm noticing my outer hips are a little crampy today, so we'll try a little bit of deer pose to remedy that. Come into all fours, right knee to right wrist, and bring that right foot underneath. Walk the left knee back, getting into your kind of typical pigeon stretch here. Oh, that feels good. And then drop the back knee and roll onto the right hip and the right elbow. So you come into a resting pose. And then arrange your knees to come to 90-degree angles. So from the air, it looks like a big Z shape or Z shape. Stretching out that outer right hip. And we'll start with some shoulder peeps. Look over each shoulder so you feel the rotation of the hips. And you can add that left arm out and reach out above the head and then reach it behind you, maybe into a half bind. Just getting the rotation in the hip. And the next time that hand comes out in front, you can reach both hands out in front, creating the antlers of the deer, and bring the head down towards the mat. Prop yourself up for a moment, back onto that elbow, and see if you can find that left foot with your left hand and just simply pull it back into another quadricep stretch. Lean back with the shoulder. And then release. Come back through all fours. And this time, sliding left knee to left wrist, left foot comes underneath. Walk the right knee back. Feel your pigeon stretch. Open up that right hip flexor. Nice big groin opening there. And then gently roll to your left side, come onto your left hip, and bend each knee at 90 degrees. And start peeping over each shoulder. Coming down onto that left elbow. And start to reach your right hand back behind you in a half bind as you look over the right shoulder. And then reach out overhead as you turn the head over the other shoulder. Next time you reach over, reach both hands out, coming into your deer. Head down towards the mat. Reaching out, releasing the upper back in that stretch. And then slowly walking the hands back. Noticing how you feel. Come back to all fours. A little more cat and cow here. And then extend out to bird dog. Right arm extends, left foot. Change diagonals, left arm, right leg. And come back to your table, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll do some hip wiggling here. Push the left hip out to the left and look over the left shoulder. And then right hip to the right, look over the right shoulder. Just getting a little swagger on there into your hip. And then pause, curl the toes, rotate elbows forward so you tighten the arms. Lift the kneecaps an inch or two off the mat into bear pose. And push the hips back, keeping the knees bent, and then come back to bear pose for 1. Back, bent knee, downward dog. Bear pose 2. Back, 3. Back, 4. Back and 5. Now hold, bent knee, downward dog, and then straighten just the right heel. And then bend right knee and straighten left heel. So you're walking out your dog. One side, then the other. Until you feel both heels really want to push back into your downward dog. Rotate inner thighs back. Lift the right foot high to the sky, 3-legged dog. Big step forward to the right hand and keep both hands on the mat. Drop the left knee. Point the toes of the left foot, lean forward, open up the groin, and then push the hips back and round the back, drop the head. Hips forward, lift the head, open the groin, back, round. So you're moving between dragon and this asymmetrical angry cat. Now with blocks or fingertips, walk your hands all the way back, and you can have a block underneath you if you like. Keep the heel of the front foot down, toes up, and then gradually sink back onto that back heel. Take the weight off the foot if it's too tight, and then start to lean the head towards the knee. Feel the hamstring. Walk the hands forward. Lift the torso, hands, head up. Kneeling warrior. Now curl the toes. This is going to be a little demanding on the hips, so curl the toes. Use support if you like. One way to do this is to push down on the front thigh, or you can have a couple of blocks here to support the hands. Now lift the back knee up and push out through the heel. Alternatively, you can do this completely stacked with weight. So you come into that warrior 1 and then drop the heel, and then lift the knee again. So you're just fluctuating between that kneeling warrior and standing warrior. And you can use support if that back leg, back hip gets tired. And the next time you come down, pause, hands to the mat, step back, downward dog. For those who like a little high plank here, you can come through to high plank. You can come down to low plank and then up to up dog. That's just an option. Back to down dog, left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. And we're going to step left foot forward to the left hand, hands under the heart, drop the back knee. Point the toes of the back foot. As you look up, you feel the back groin, back hip flexor, that inguinal area stretch out. And then push the hips back, rounded, half angry cat, forward dragon, and keep going. Hopefully you're feeling nice release here in the back. And the hips. Then the next backward movement becomes your left leg extended, heel up. And again, you can support yourself with blocks, fingers, or you can take the full load onto your back foot, and you can bring your head forward towards the knee. And then making your way forward to kneeling warrior. So we'll be working that back leg quite a bit here as you lift that back knee and then come down. So it's like a split lunge. Knee taps, comes up. And again, you can use blocks to support you if that back hip starts to feel it. You can drop your hands, all sorts of variations here. And the next time you come down, step back, downward dog. Option to come through your little flow here if you like. You high plank. You can do knees, chest, chin if you like, inchworm. You come into cobra or up dog. Exhale, child pose, and let everything go. And coming back to tabletop, downward dog. Right foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Step forward into kneeling warrior. Dropping that back knee, reaching up. Now, because of my shoulder injury, normally I'd bring both hands, right hand forward, left hand back, but I'll just rest my left hand on my hip. And then the other direction. Revolve the twist. Come back through kneeling warrior with the knee lift this time as a next level up, or stay on the knee. We'll do exactly the same, 2 twists. And when you come back to standing warrior 1, bring both hands to the hips and rotate the hips towards the long edge of the mat and bring that back foot in alignment with the front foot. Traditional warrior two stance, back foot slightly rotated, pigeon-toed. Drive out through the pinky toe side, and once again, warrior two arms. Again, I'm going to limit that with my left arm. Slide the back arm down, reach back, reverse warrior, and then forward, leaning on the elbow, side angle. Come back through warrior one. Whew. Now just for some fun here, drop both hands, lean forward and step the back foot forward, take the weight onto the front straightened leg, lifting the back leg. Option to lift both hands out in front into warrior three. Big step back, warrior one. And then downward dog. Big movement. Now, those who've been doing the little flow here into plank or low plank or knees, chest, chin, inchworm, cobra or up dog, you can do that or just hang out. Left foot high to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step forward. And coming up, warrior one. From warrior one twist. Other side, revolve the twist. Reaching up. Once again. And then through warrior one, hands on hips, dropping the back heel, reorienting the hips. So the hips now move from a forward type direction to a somewhat sideways direction. Mine's not perfectly sideways, but it doesn't need to be. Warrior two arms. Dropping back, reverse warrior. Warrior two. Lean forward. Oh, big reach. Side angle. Back through warrior two. Warrior one. And then dropping the hands, lean forward so your weight comes onto the front foot, able to lift that back leg, and then hands out in front or remaining behind, flying warrior. Warrior three. Big step back, warrior one. Step back, downward dog. We're going to finish in child pose here, so you can do your thing or come into child whenever you're ready, with or without any extra movements. Up to you. And then we'll come to a seated position. I'm going to recommend you sit on a rolled up blanket or towel, sitting on the edge of the rolled up blanket or towel. So the hips are tilted forward, and when you come into dragonfly, nice wide spread of the hips, have a strap handy. But you'll notice I have a slight tilt forward because of the position of my hips on the edge of the rolled up blanket. So that allows a nice stretch through the hamstrings, toes curled back. Let's walk both hands towards the right foot. And then walk the hands on the floor in front of you and all the way over to the left foot. And spider walk the hands back to that original foot. You might have a little more length now. Spider walk back. And then come to an upright position and bend the left foot into the thigh, so you have just the half split here, and do the same. Walk hands towards the extended foot. Spider walk the hands to your bent knee. Grab hold of the left knee with the right hand, and left hand comes behind the back into a rotation, looking over that left shoulder. Keep driving out through the extended foot. Now slowly unwind the twist, but keep the right hand on the left knee. Left hand's going to reach out in front of you and reach across. So you've kind of scissored the arms. Look over that right shoulder. Now lock elbows. Bring that bottom elbow up, lock it, and pull down on the left shoulder with the hand and squeeze those arms into the chest. Keeping locked elbows, bring hand to hand into your eagle arms. If you can't reach hand to hand, grab a strap in the top hand and dangle it down, and the bottom hand can grab the strap. Prostrate towards the bent left knee. And slowly come up, release the lock. Grab a strap in the left hand and dangle it behind your back. Right hand's going to assist that left elbow to come up as vertically behind the head as possible. Keep the chin off the chest. So we don't want to round the back here. We want to keep the back extended. And the right hand's now going to reach around for the strap behind your back and walk its way up to the other hand, depending on the flexibility in that right shoulder. Prostrate to that bent knee. And slowly come up. Release cow face pose on this side. And just relish the tranquility in the body afterwards, all that. Let's change legs. Reaching down towards that extended leg. Spider walk towards the bent knee. Left hand grabs right knee, right hand comes behind, body comes up, torso comes up, head comes up, twisting over that right shoulder. Keep hold of that bent knee as you turn the head to the left and sweep that right arm across the body. Look over that left shoulder. Lock elbows and pull down on that right shoulder as you squeeze those arms in. And then with or without a strap, I'm going to use a strap on this side. Lock hands or strap to hand. Prostrate towards that bent knee. And slowly come up. Release the lock as you take the strap into the right hand, dangle it behind the back. And you can position that elbow as vertically as you can behind the head. I'm limited with my range of motion here, so I'll cock it out to the side a bit. Left hand behind, hand to hand, hand to strap. Come into your cow face pose on this side. Keep that head back so you're not dropping the head here or rounding the back. Prostrate to that bent knee. Slowly come up and release and rest in the post stretch state where you may become aware of tingles and sensations, blood flow, warmth, release. I usually find it a tranquil time to soak in the feelings, the sensations. Also a time to connect to the breath. All right, we'll make our way onto our back. And let's come straight into TP pose. So we just check out where the back's at after all this work, because we've done quite some work, quite some demand on the back, especially in the warrior poses. If you want more hip opening, open the knees and bring the soles of the feet together as an alternative. That's going to change the sensation in your low back. Just fluctuate between those two positions, knees together, feet apart. Knees apart, feet together, butterfly. So you get that sense, oh yeah, I can feel that big difference in my low back in those two positions. Whereas the upper back feels fairly undisturbed, hopefully. Now let's all go into butterfly with hands behind the head. So double butterfly, elbows out, knees out. Now start to arch the back as you push the feet strongly against each other. Squeeze the buttocks, squeeze the shoulder blades. So you're really opening up the front of the body here in double butterfly. The back of the body squeezing, the front of the body stretching. Now, like a butterfly does, start to close the wings slowly, very slowly, So the knees come together, the head lifts up, even though you support it, and the elbows come in. Push the lower back against the mat. And then come back into your butterfly. Really open the butterfly out like we did before. Arching the back, helping the butterfly open more by arching more. Squeeze the buttocks. You should feel an abdominal stretch here as well. Now the butterfly wants to close its wings slowly. This is a nice, slow, conscious movement, so you feel nothing is rushed, and you come into a delicious back stretch. Low back stays pushing into the mat. I like to squeeze the skull and lift the back of the skull up myself. But for some people that might be a little too much. Come back to your open butterfly. Now release the hands from behind the head. Keep the legs in butterfly. And the palms 45 degrees out from the hips, face down. Push down with the outer edges of the feet so you lift the buttocks off the mat into a gluteal bridge. Then slowly come down one vertebra at a time and bring both knees up into the chest, turning the knees in a circle. Other way. And then slowly release the feet to the ground. Have a block or a bolster ready. If I had a bolster, I'd use a bolster, but I don't, so I'm going to use a block. Push down and lift the hips up into the traditional bridge and bring the block or bolster underneath your hips, so you're now in a supported bridge. Bring both knees up towards the ribs. If the block is too uncomfortable underneath, you pad it with a towel. Lift both feet into the air, into a supported shoulder stand. Palms out beside you, face up. And we'll just do some scissors here, so you drop the left leg down. It may or may not touch the floor, that's okay. And then scissor and change legs. Continue on at whatever pace is ideal for you. It might be faster or slower. Mine feels like it needs to be slow today. And the next time both legs come up, you have many options here. You can come into the splits. I like the splits. That's a nice alternative. We've done some splits today. You might just come to rest with the feet up, or you might push down with the hands and lift the hips up off your prop into a half shoulder stand. Being careful of the neck here. Some people might curl all the way over into snail pose, feet coming onto a chair or a bench or a floor behind your head. stay in the inversions and the choices as long as you like. Remembering whenever you come down from half shoulder stand or plow that you lift the head to compensate, you don't snap the neck. I'm going to do a little knee over knee thing here and grab the feet and pull both feet back towards me. I like that. A little more gluteal stretch while I'm in this position. And maybe turning the head a little bit each side, release the neck. Now if you're doing a little gluteal stretch, you can switch knees. Oh, yeah. Did legs at the gym yesterday, so this feels great. Now when you're ready, you're going to release everything. And unless you're really enjoying the supported prop underneath you, you can remove that and make your way to Shavasana. Whatever variation of Shavasana feels right. Make sure you're warm in Shavasana, you don't get cold. And make sure if the back, particularly the low back, is in any way feeling pinned or tight or uncomfortable, can you support yourself in a way that takes the pressure off the low back? It could be the knees together, for instance, or bent knees. And use this time to be conscious of your face. Releasing the tension from your lips. Your eye sockets. Your teeth. Even letting your tongue come into Shavasana. Now take the next 20 breaths. That's a long time. The next 20 breaths are an invitation to transition gradually from Shavasana. And for some people that means they're going to stay in Shavasana for most of those breaths. For some people it means you're going to wriggle and stretch and slowly come out. And if you're a wriggler and a stretcher and a scratcher, try to keep the Shavasana feeling, that undisturbed state. See if you can keep it in. You're stretching and moving, almost like you're doing it in slow motion. So you're moving, but you're not disturbing the nervous system. It's like when you wake up after a good night's sleep and you just, your mind is racing ahead through the day, but you can't quite do anything. You're just in this relaxed, yawny state. And then of course when you find your seat, you want it to be comfortable and stable. And so you use this precious 30 seconds before we close the practice to simply become body aware. Whether that's keeping the body still and simply scanning, or moving different parts of the body to notice how the joints feel. And then scan your breath. And then scan your dial, the face. Is it scowling or smiling, or is it neutral? And try all three of those positions. Scowl, smile, neutral. What one feels good? Just bring your hands together in prayer and in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you.